Yes, in my last lecture, I spoke about neoclassicism and its characteristics. In brief, I told you what neoclassicism meant and why it is called so. It is divided into the three periods of the Augustan period, the Restoration period, and the age of reason and good sense of Dr. Johnson. After this, I spoke about the characteristics of the neoclassical age, namely the respect for rules on the first place, which was scrupulously followed by the men of letters. On the second place, I spoke about the classical traditions and the conventions which were followed in every kind of poetry. In the third place, I spoke about neoclassicism as an age of decorum, and in which a lot of emphasis was laid on looking right and acting right. Great value was placed on manners, on virtues like self-control and self-governance, and above all, on balance. One was not allowed to be outrageous or to rebel or to act out, because one had to exercise and also to exhibit self-control. As a third characteristic, I had mentioned the neoclassical age as an age of scientific instrumentation, where attempts were made to use science to explain and glorify the wonders of the divine creation. Those divine creation, they were also to show to men how God worked. Now, today we'll be discussing the remaining characteristics of this particular age, a little in brief, and the major writers which belong to this particular age. In the next place, that is, as a fifth characteristic, we see that the intellectual quality had gained predominance in the neoclassical age. Extravagance and emotionalism were shown their way, means they were not paid heed to or given any importance. The spirit of good sense and reason had influenced the leading lights of the literary firmament. It was the rule of head rather than that of the heart. Though a few distinguished luminaries of this period, like Dryden and Pope, did write some or the other works which had an emotional impact, but their works were always within the bonds of their form. Even the neoclassical drama, which was highly passionate, almost froze on account of the cool classicism that had negated its appeal to the later generations. Coming on the next place, but yes, definitely this age of neoclassicism was an age of conversation. The novel, for instance, begins with the epistolary form as a story that is told in the collection of letters, but it is also enhanced by self-reflection. And the best example for that self-reflection can be seen in Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, which is the first-person diary of a supposed shipwrecked survivor. And we all know that this diary